So one of the reasons for looking at the data first and analysing it is because it will give children an idea of how the way fields are set up then determine how you can search them. In this video we're just going to look at how to create a data file that you can use with the whole class. So I've already got a data file open, so let's just go to the menu. I've just clicked on look at the data so I can get to this menu, and there is quite a bit of help under here which explains how to create a class data file. So there it is, creating a class data file, and basically the process is that we create a template file after discussion with the children about what fields are necessary and what kind of data they're going to hold, and then they open that template file, each of them on their own computer at the same time, type their own data in and save the file as a section file, and then you just merge all of those together, and the instructions are given just under these headings of how to do that. So let's just have a look at what that might appear like. So we're just going to go to data and then template file, because the template file is a file which is just going to store information about the fields in the file. It's not going to store any records, and in fact if we try and store records then it's not going to work as a template file. So if we're going to do something on planets, let's say for example, we might give a description. So planet investigation by year 5. You don't have to give a description, but you can if you want to, and then say OK, and it picks up spelling mistakes, which is quite nice. So before any kind of data can be entered in a data file, you have to decide what the fields, what the headings are going to be under which the data is going to be stored. So we might have the name of the planet, and the name of the planet might be unique, so nobody else in the class will be looking at that particular planet, so we can or entering data about that planet, so we can say it's unique, and we can say we don't want to have a blank name for the planet because then nobody's going to know what the information is. And then there are all these different types of fields that can be chosen. So let's just show you how to use 3 of them. And we might say that actually, you know, the minimum number of characters for for name has to be 2, so nobody can just type in A, and you can type an explanation in here if you want to or not, and then we can just say OK to that field. Then we can add another field, and this might be something like atmosphere, and the atmosphere could be multiple choice, and we might have something like, well, oxygen, and then carbon dioxide, nitrogen, etc., whatever ones you've got. And you might be able to say here that you're allowed to make a maximum of 4 choices. If you only wanted people to select 1, like in the accidents file where we only had male, female, then obviously the maximum number of choices would only be 1. But in case of atmosphere, it might be that a planet has oxygen stroke nitrogen as its atmosphere, in which case you can say, well, let's have 4 as the number of possible choices, and you can give an explanation here if you so wish, and then we can sort this list having typed it in, and then say OK to that. And then I'm just going to do one more field here. This time I'm just going to do a picture field, and this might be something like habitants. Maybe you're doing some creative writing and thinking about what kind of life form might live in a particular type of atmosphere, and we can allow blanks in here if we want to, and this is something like imaginary depiction of life form or some such thing, and then we can say OK to that. So once we've got all of our fields set up, and again this is a great discussion point because we can actually think about what the field names have to be and what kind of data we're going to store in them. And usually if we try and restrict it to if we just have text, then people have to do quite a lot of inputting, and if we have multiple choice fields, then that affects how searches happen, and particularly the male-female searches that we did in the accidents database can be linked back to here. And now you can save this template file, and you would normally save it in a folder where the children are able to get hold of the information, or are able to get hold of the file. So if you navigate to wherever that's going to be, so it's actually saved as a template file here, and we'll just call it planets and save. And then in the next video I'll just show you what we can do with that file.